Hi guys, this is your Tech Ref. The iPad Pro is easily my favorite tech of 2018 and even 2019. I sampled some of my favorite iPad Pro tips and tricks, and all of which will help you make the most of your device. If you have any questions or if there is anything you would want me to cover, let me know in the comment section down below. The first tip of the day is a quick one, and it has something to do with the text cursor. I don't think a lot of people know about this tip, but if you're inside a text editor and you put two fingers anywhere on the screen, you can actually move the insertion point. Tip number 2. Since we're still typing on the virtual keyboard, you can see that some keys have multiple punctuations or numbers. I used to tap on a dedicated key to go to the keyboard with all the numbers and punctuations, and then I had to go back to the normal keyboard. I recently discovered that you can just slide down on the virtual key to type numbers or secondary punctuations. The most common ones are on the main keyboard, and this little trick saved me a lot of time. And in a way, it's oddly satisfying. Rearranging your apps on the iPad can be a pain in the ass, especially when you want to move a lot of apps to another page. I used to move them over one by one, but this took me a while. You can actually do it a lot quicker. Just tap and hold an app until they start shaking, and with another finger you tap all the apps you want to move, and they will start piling up. Now you can move them all at the same time. But that's not all. You can actually use this method when moving pictures or text to another app. When you're in multitasking mode and using Notes, for example, you can drag a picture from the internet to Notes. When you want to add multiple pictures, just drag a picture and tap on the other pictures to pile them up. The same thing goes with text. Just drag, tap and drop. We are in the multitasking window now, and this is where tip number 4 comes in. You can just switch the windows by sliding the little bar to the other side. When you want the app to hover over the app instead of next to each other, you just flick the little bar down. Now comes the best part. Whenever you have an app in hover over mode, you can just slide it to the right and make it disappear. If you want the app back, just slide it from the right hand side of the iPad screen and it will come back. This is an incredibly useful tip. You can, for example, quickly use the calculator during work or school. Sadly, this works only when you slide the app to the right hand side. To go back to the split screen mode, just flick the little bar and the iPad will do the rest. Split screen can also be combined with the third app that hovers over for the ultimate multitasking window. Tip number 5 is all about maneuvering through the iPad. The bar on the bottom of the screen replaces the old home button. You all know how to go to the home screen by flicking the bar upwards. To move through the recent apps, you slide your finger from the left to the right over the bar. But you do have to be precise. Your finger has to be at the bottom of the screen or this will not work. In my experience, I found it a lot quicker to just pinch with 4 or 5 fingers to go to the home screen, or just slide over the screen to slide through your recent apps. This way, you don't really have to be precise. Since the latest iPad Pro does not come with a home button, they used Face ID instead of a fingerprint sensor. Apple's Face ID is amazing, but you can speed it up to make it even faster by turning off face detection. This is tip number 6. Attention detection is an extra level of security baked into Face ID that lets Face ID work only when you're looking at your iPad or iPhone. But this means that you have to bring your iPad or iPhone up to your face before it can be unlocked. When the iPad is flat on the desk, this can be quite annoying. While it won't be the same experience as Touch ID, you can turn off attention detection in order to help speed up the Face ID process. Just remember that you'll be sacrificing a little bit of security for this, so turn off attention detection at your own risk. I would recommend not to tell your friends that attention detection is turned off, since they can enter your iPad and paste stuff with it by just holding it in front of your face while you are asleep. To turn off detection mode, go to Settings, tap Face ID, then you have to enter your security code and then you can turn off Require Attention Face ID. This will speed up the Face ID process and you will be able to unlock your iPad with sunglasses that block the IR sensor. Next up is tip number 7. I have never seen someone who knew about this trick. To wake up the iPad, you can just tap it with a finger to turn on the screen. But if you have an Apple Pencil and you tap the screen once with a pencil, the iPad will turn on in the Notes app. This way you can take a quick note. This tip has actually helped me a lot when I was in a rush and had to write down something very quickly. You can also edit or disable this feature. Go to Settings, then to Notes, and then access Notes from the lock screen. You have the option to disable or edit it. The next tip is all about the customization of the control center. To access the control center, slide down from the top right corner of the screen. If you tap and hold any of the controls, it will pop up and give you some more options. For example, when you tap and hold the brightness control, it will show you the option to turn True Tone and Night Shift on and off. Night Shift will reduce the blue light emitted by the screen. As a default, it will only show a few controls. You can actually edit it. Go to Settings, Control Center, and then to Customize Controls. This will show you a list of the things you can add to the control center. Let's add, for example, alarm, screen recording, text size, and voice memos. Now these controls will be shown in the control center. The next thing I want to talk about is the screen time option. If you go to Settings, you are going to find Screen Time. This is going to monitor and manage the way you use your iPad. If you are playing too many games or watching too many movies, you can set limits to the applications. First, you tap on Downtown. Enable it and pick a time. Next up, you add some apps. Let's choose everything for now. And then we're going to set a limit for each app. Let's try 1 hour and we're done. When we go back home, all the apps that are under the app limit are blacked out. So if you launch one of the apps, it will tell you that you have reached the limit for the specific application. You can tap and ignore it to open it anyway. You can enable exceptions in these settings. The last tip is one that brings back the home button. It is an old tip that a lot of you guys will know, but few realize that it is customizable. To turn it on, go to Settings, General, you go to Accessibility, and go to Assistive Touch and enable it. This will show you a virtual home button. If you tap on it, it will expand and show you a few options. But what if you just want to use it as a regular home button? This is possible. Go to Settings, tap on Customize, remove everything, and then tap on Customize and then Home. Now it will just function like the old home button. You can always edit a button to do whatever you want. If you want a dedicated screenshot button, this is possible. Just change it and now you can take a quick screenshot with a tap on the screen. That was it for this video. Please like and subscribe, and if you want me to cover something for you, let me know in the comment section down below. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.